We now meet Cassandra Scerbo, actress, creator, and executive producer of the documentary Code Red. Welcome to the show, Cassie.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's so wonderful to have you and talk about what you're doing and the change you are trying to create. So again, thank you for all that you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. And I couldn't do it without an incredible team. It takes a village to really create something meaningful.
It
And
does.
I'm just
Yeah.
so grateful for the incredible team behind Code Red.
Yeah, fantastic. So you created and you were the executive producer of Code Red.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, this documentary, it shakes you to the core. And
Yeah.
you're showing clips from the Parkland shooting at Stoneman Douglas School in 2018 and interviews with like-minded activists like you. So what are you hoping that the documentary teaches a viewer?
At the end of the day, we can't change that this nightmare took place back in 2018, but what we can do is ensure that these 17 beautiful lives that were taken from us, that it wasn't in vain, and that we create change moving forward. And we do that in this documentary by breaking it down in 11 lessons to really educate the viewer. It's really, it's hard hitting and it's not easy to watch, but we cannot turn a blind eye, because I really do feel that watching this documentary, the more people that watch it, the more that we educate the viewers, that we can save lives moving forward. We really took the time, Connor Riley specifically, our director and producer, really took the time to research every single mishap that happened that day. And, it took 4 years because we really wanted to get it right. And we
Yeah.
really do break down everything that went wrong that day. And not just that day, but, with other, mass shootings in the past in schools and whatnot. So,
Right.
um,
And there's one thing you say, that this isn't about reliving it.
right.
It's about teaching uh,
Absolutely.
what the mishaps were and the changes we can make and how we can make a difference for our children and our lawmakers and the teachers and everyone involved. Yeah.
Absolutely. The whole point of it wasn't to just retell, or to relive this horrific day. It is to really break down what went wrong, from
Mhm.
the security cameras being on a 20-minute delay, to the on-site officer not engaging and neutralizing, to, ensuring that that teachers really do participate in active shooter training. It's not a lengthy process, but it can save lives. And the teachers that had undergone these, the active shooter training, they knew exactly what to do. They knew the difference between a code red and a fire alarm. They knew how to keep their students safe, so on and so forth. The documentary does an incredible job at breaking down policies that people are very unaware of.
Yeah.
And then of course there's mental health. We are in a mental health crisis right now. There are more school shootings now than ever before. It's knowing the red flags. There were so many red flags, and it gives me chills, and it really does make me a little enraged that nothing was really truly done about that.
Mhm.
And also
Mhm.
understanding how to properly take care of the students afterwards, survivor's guilt, making sure that we have psychologists on hand. But of course, we don't want to get to that point anymore. We want to really be able to eradicate these mass shootings from happening. And I think that the documentary does a really good job at, facilitating that, ensuring that we know what went wrong and how to make a difference moving forward so that we can
Right.
keep our kids safe.
Yeah. So, talking about mental health and red flags, and it is at an all time high right now and a true crisis. So, let's talk about if we do start seeing some red flags or students are seeing red flags, what can we do?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is a big subject to talk about, because not everybody has the proper mental health care, and that is scary. But I do feel that this shooter was um, transferred back and forth from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas to a school for mentally
Mhm.
challenged individuals.
Mhm.
And the system failed by not really ensuring that he was not let back onto that campus. And it's important that we know the red flags so that these kids can seek therapy and get the proper help before
Yeah.
they go on to taking 17 lives.
Right. When they actually going through with the threats that they are
Yeah.
putting out there, the red flags and such. Let's take a let's take a look at a clip.
When I make the decision to open the door and I say to Leah, "Are you the bad guy?" And she says, "No, I just want to come in." As the door is open and I'm letting her in, I hear more gunfire. And I look at the kids and I say, "You guys, I'm going to need you in the corner."
So, like I said, I mean, that's just a small piece of this documentary, but so impactful. I mean, it really hits home. And if you have children, this is something that you must see because
Yes.
we need to also be having these conversations at home and not just depending on the teachers and the school to deal with it. This is something that we need to be involved with.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about, I mean, the ultimate outcome that you hope to make with this film.
Yes. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's about education. It's about, like I said earlier, not turning a blind eye to making sure that teachers know the difference that they are taking on these active shooter trainings to making sure that people know everything that's inside of a trauma kit and how to use everything that's inside of the trauma kit. Every victim that had a survivable gunshot wound that day did survive because
Mhm.
people did know how to use everything that was inside of the kit.
Wow.
Like we said before, knowing the red flags, making sure that students are getting the proper help, that they are seeking guidance, and that they're getting on maybe whatever it may be, a certain
Yeah.
regimen with therapy and whatnot, because we are in a mental health crisis,
Right.
and we want to stop it in its tracks. We don't want people to um, you know go to the lengths that this shooter went,
Right.
because he was severely mentally challenged.
Tell us, where can we see the film and get in touch with you and just really help to create the change?
Absolutely. Well, Connor Riley, our producer and director, him and his sister started a foundation called the Code Red Foundation. They have a website up explaining exactly what they're aiming to do and where the proceeds will be going towards trauma kits and whatnot.
Mhm.
And you can find me anywhere under my name at Cassie Scerbo on social media. And you can watch this documentary on Amazon, Apple, Google. Yeah, we're just so
Yeah.
happy that it's finally out there. And I just wanted to say once again, we are in a mental health crisis. And of course, mental health care is a big buzzword right now. It's a topic, and it's sad, but there are so many ways to get help. You're 100% correct on that. We
Yeah.
have access from our smartphones to our computers. Just if you just type basically anything in, there will be support out there. People are willing to help. They're willing to listen. There are organizations that this is exactly what they do. They help people who can't necessarily afford the extremely expensive therapist that might be out there, but there
Yeah.
is help. And,
There is help.
I just
There
wanted
is
to
help.
reiterate that. And thank you so much for
Yeah.
bringing that up.
Thank you so much for coming on Wake Up with Marcy and for the incredible work you're doing. And I just wish you so much. Uh, just, I just hope that this outcome from this film really makes an impact. And I think it will. And the more that we get out there and the more we talk about it, it
Yes.
really will help to create that change that you're looking to do. So thank you so much
Absolutely.
again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.